Welcome to Less with Lauren Yoga, where we focus on alignment to create stability from the inside out. We'll use blocks as tools to provide support in different ways throughout our practice. I encourage you to use your blocks in a way that works best for your body. You can always test different block customizations by changing the height or positioning of the blocks. And if you don't have blocks, that's okay too. Let's get started. Send your knees wide to the edge of your mat, your toes to touch behind you. Grab 2 blocks and place them about shoulder width apart on your mat. Your palms are going to come onto your blocks and you'll start to take a childlike pose. Without bringing your forehead all the way to the ground, start to round your spine. Exhale all of your stale air out. Inhale, lift your chin. Exhale, round your spine, tuck your chin. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck. Bring your blocks now and place them closer to the sides of your mat. Your palms stay on your blocks. Reach them forward a little bit to bring your chest further to the ground. We'll start to take some gentle rocks into our hips and into our shoulders. Inhale, lift like you did before. This time, exhale, touch your nose into your right bicep. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, touch your nose to your left bicep. Inhale through center. Exhale to the right. Inhale through center. Exhale to the left. Keep taking this a few more times and start to gently put your hip rotation into it. Come back up through center. Press up into your palms, palms underneath your shoulders, knees come underneath your hips. Reach the top of your head forward and press your tailbone back. Baby bend in your elbows. Press your hips over to the right side of your mat and drop them back down towards your glutes. We'll take hip circles. Continue to use your breath here. If you feel any areas of stickiness or tension, spend a little bit more time in that spot. Come back to your neutral tabletop. Press your hips over to the left side of your mat and drop them back down towards your glutes. We'll take circles going in the opposite direction. Come back to your neutral tabletop. Turn to face the long side of your mat. Stick your right leg out. Parallel your right foot to the short side of your mat. Bring 2 blocks with you if you have them. Place 1 block just on the outside of your left knee and the other block close to your knee that's out on the diagonal. Bring your right palm to your right block. Hand on your left hip. Inhale, stand up tall. Exhale, take a gentle bend to the right. Let the bend come from your hip bone through your shoulder rather than crunching in on this side. See if you can find length by pressing this hip forward and gently pulling your shoulders back, like a nice little stretch for this entire side of your body. You can reach your arm up and over if it'll support you, not collapse you. I like to bring my hand to my hip and gently pull it up the side of my body to feel the tension and feel that stretch. Inhale, come back up. Bring your hands to your other block. Same thing, gentle stretch on the right side now. Hand to your hip, and you can gently graze your hand up your side to feel the stretch and that tension from your right hip bone through your shoulders. As you press your right hip bone forward, pull your shoulders back to get that length and that stretch. Come back up. We'll switch out our legs. Extend your left foot to the short side of your mat. Your block comes in front of your knee, and your other block on the outside of your right knee. Reach your left fingertips to your left block, hand on your right hip bone. Inhale, pull your ribs up towards the ceiling. Maybe your hand follows the stretch. Pressing that right hip bone forward to feel the stretch all the way from your right hip bone out your shoulder. Press into your block to help lift up and avoid collapsing over. Inhale, lift up. We'll take it to the other side. Right hand to your right block. Feel the stretch, left hip bone, out your left shoulder. Your left fingertips can extend up as long as you're not collapsing over. Think about having a gentle back bend. As you press your hips forward, your fingers come back or your elbow points back. Inhale, tee your arms out. Exhale, come back down. Blocks come in front of you. Send your knees wide. Flex your feet out. So the inside of each of your feet, the inside edge of your feet here are on the ground. Your feet are flexed at a 90-degree angle. 90-degree angle in your ankle, 90-degree angle in your knee. Bring your palms onto some blocks to support your upper body here. You can even bring your blocks all the way up to their tallest setting. You can play around with different block heights that might work for you. Keep a micro bend in your elbows as you point them back. Start to shift your weight forwards and backwards, hips moving in front of your knees and behind your knees, just gently. You want to keep a tall spine. Avoid rounding and crouching over, putting the weight into your upper body rather than stretching into your thighs. A gentle squeeze of your glutes to protect your low back and lengthen out your inner thighs. Gently press up into your palms, shimmy your knees back in, and we'll move into a Malasana squat. Step your feet out underneath your knees. So your ankles are stacked under your knees. Your seat starts to come down. As you can see, there's a lot of space between the ground and my seat. So I'm going to use my blocks to support myself. If you only have 2 blocks, I'd suggest stacking them so you have one tall and one wide on the top. A good rule of thumb is you want your seat to be close to the height of your knees. So if this is all you have and you just have 2 blocks, this is a great place to start. You can also use a chair that's at about knee height for this exercise as well. Same thing, we want to work on our right angles, a right angle in your ankle and a right angle in your knee if you can. If you have a 3rd block, like I do, I'd suggest making this even a little bit taller. Now what you'll see a lot of the time is people start to crawl their ankles in, and then we have a much smaller angle than 90 degrees here in your knee. So work those heels out, and it's okay if you're not there right away. We're all gonna get there eventually. But the goal is to have your ankles underneath your knees and your toes pointing in the same direction, about 45-degree angles coming out the sides. You can bring your hands to your hips to help support a tall spine. Again, we're sitting up, shoulders stacked over your hips, head stacked over your shoulders. Push your shoulder blades down, release any tension in your jaw. We hold a lot of tension there. Your hands can come to your hips and gently press down as you lift the top of your head up. Feel that nice decompression in your spine, a nice release for your inner thighs. Gently release your feet. And your blocks might fall, that is okay. Move into a comfortable seated position with your legs slightly crossed. Your feet are flexed to the outside of each foot. The outside edge of each foot is resting on your mat with your toes pointed forward. Find a tall seat, lift up, bring your thumb and pointer finger to touch. Slight bend in your elbows. Inhale, spread your fingers wide, sit up a little bit taller. Exhale, forward fold, hinge over your hips. You can bring your palms down to the ground. You can bring your forearms to some blocks. Whatever is going to be nice and supportive for you. Avoid rounding through your spine as it'll move your stretch into your low back instead of your outer glutes. Think about reaching your chest forward and the crown of your head up. Inhale, sit up, thumb and forefingers to touch, and switch out your legs. Bring whatever leg was not on top to the top. Flex your feet, the outside of your feet are touching your mat, your toes are pointing forwards. Inhale, reach up, thumbs and forefingers to touch, slight bend in the elbows. Inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, forward fold, hinge over your hips. You can find those blocks under your forearms or your palms. Reach your chest forward and keep your neck in line with your spine. Gently press up into your palms. Bring one block with you. I'm using the Manduka Unblock Recycled Foam Block. It has some nice curves on it on 2 different levels to provide some really great support and decompression for your low back when used in a supported bridge. Gently roll down onto your back and place your block, whichever one you have, it doesn't have to be this one, on the lowest and widest setting. You can also use a rolled up towel to provide some decompression if you don't have a block available. Step your feet about hip distance apart, knees point up to the ceiling. Bring your hands up to your head, gently lift it up, tuck your chin in, and press the back of your neck back into your mat. This gentle tuck of your chin helps engage your cervical spine onto the floor. Bring your hands to your hips and gently feel your back start to decompress with a little bit of elevation and support from your block. You can start to rock your knees side to side, gently massaging your low back. Walk your feet to the outsides of your mat and gently knock your knees in. Taking that same little sway side to side, this time working through your hip flexors. You can stay here for as long as you need. You're ready to move on. Gently crawl your feet back to center. Squeeze your inner thighs together and reach your legs up. Actively flex your feet so your toes point down towards your face. You can even grab a second block and place it in between your shins for a little bit more stability and compression on your legs. Let this legs up the wall position is great for lymphatic drainage, and using the block provides extra compression for your shins or wherever you have it. You can gently scrunch your toes, even wiggle out your ankles. Maybe you point and flex your feet. Gently remove the block if you have it in between your shins. Bring your feet back down. Squeeze your glutes to lift your seat up and remove the block underneath you. Hug your knees in tight to your chest. Maybe taking some gentle rocks side to side. Let your left leg go long. Inhale your right knee into your chest. Take a gentle supine twist, crossing your right knee over to the left side of your body. Bring a block with you. I like it on this medium setting to provide support underneath my shin. Actively flex your ankle. And press the right side of your shoulder down into the ground. Bring your right knee back through center. I'll switch sides so you can see it on both sides, but you stay exactly where you are. Extend your right leg long this time. Hug your left knee into your chest. Take an exhale for your supine twist. That block can find its way underneath your shin or your ankle, whatever is going to be supportive for you. Press your left shoulder blade into your mat and send your gaze over your left palm. Inhale, pull your left knee back in and let it go long. Take a full body stretch, reaching your arms up and overhead. Point your toes, flex your toes, and point them again. Hug both knees into your chest. Find happy baby. Reach for the insides or outsides of your feet. A gentle pull of your knees down towards the ground, heels up to the ceiling. Maybe lift your head, tuck your chin, and press it back down like we did in our supported bridge. You can rock side to side, kick into your legs. Whatever movement or stillness feels good to you in our final pose of our practice. Friends, you can stay here for as long as serves you. When you're ready to close your practice, gently release your feet, hug your knees back in, and take some big rocks and rolls up to a seated position. Not rocking to get up, but rocking to massage your entire spine onto the floor. Thank you so much for spending the last couple of minutes with me, stretching and working on your body and your movement. If you found any of the uses for blocks new or helpful in your body, please let me know. And if you found a different way to use blocks that I didn't show in class today, also let me know. I'd love to hear that. Thanks for practicing with me, and I'll see you again next time.